Hello, my name is Rich Howard, and this project that we're going to use the CNC machine for is creating custom ceiling tiles for a client. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to turn on the machine. I'm going to run the spindle warm-up routine, and after that's done, we're going to air cut this. I'm going to first export these 4 tool paths to a single file that the ShopBot will run, and then we'll air cut it. And then if everything still looks good, we're gonna go for it. So let's the next thing you'll see is a camera view of probably the machine beginning to air cut. Now we're just warming up the spindle. That's what we're doing. It's going through its C5 warm-up routine. And this goes on for maybe 9 or 12 minutes. I've never really timed it. So the next thing we'll do is we'll home the machine. Yeah, that spindle warm-up routine takes 9 minutes, 5 seconds. So now I'm going to 0 the X and Y and then 0 the Z. That's zeroing the Y. The Z was first. Okay, so the machine is now 0 to X and Y. I'm going to move it to 8, so I can 0 the Z axis. And I know that there's a video online showing, a ShopBotter showing how to have it set that when you 0 your Z, it's always going to move to where you want it to sit. So let's 0 the Z. Okay, that is a 0'd Z, is what it is. So now we are definitely going to air cut this. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So the next thing for us to do is to now get all of these tool paths turned into a ShopBot cutting file. So we previewed the tool paths, summary of all tool paths, including estimated time. So, wow, 1 hour, 27 minutes. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get in there and take a look. That's we're not going to have 8.5 hours of cutting time for one sheet, so we'll have to sort that out, which we will. So save the tool path, visible tool paths, selected tool path. We have them all selected. Let's save it. Okay. I'm not sure if my parentheses are going to be a problem on that. I was told not to use special characters, so I'm going to actually drop special characters. I don't know if a parenthesis is going to qualify as a special character. Let's get rid of that. Save. Okay. So now we're going to bring the ShopBot software in, and I've zeroed all 3 axes, cut part. I'm going to go to where that file is, open. Now, this is where we're going to do a 3D offset, so it's going to maintain a safe Z-axis. And start. What I need to do now is, yeah, tool 1 is in the spindle. I know that. The Z-axis is 0. The next thing now is to push the start button and see what happens. So let's see what happens. Turning on the GoPro, actually. Okay, let's break a leg. Start. Spindle gets turned on. And my hand is going to be hovering over the emergency switch. Okay.
No, it didn't go up to 4.8. That's okay.
Ramping in. Now it should go about rastering everything. So I'm reasonably convinced at this time that it's going to work. So I think what we're going to do is turn the vacuum on and just try and see what happens here is what we're going to end up doing. Because this has got quite a long toolpath time on it. All right, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We're just going to record this thing. We're going to actually cut, so let's do that. What I discovered is that it only cut the profile toolpath for some reason. It was highlighted. Yeah, probably because the selected toolpath is the problem. So let's visible toolpaths to one. Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. So you can see my mistake there. Okay, so let's go visible toolpaths to one file, save toolpath. I'm going to overwrite that, replace it. And because what happened was it started cutting only the profile, and you'll see it coming up. Let's pull up ShopBot, and let's try all that again. 3D offset. Now my Z is at 2.8, and that's okay. It's going to go up to 4.8, I believe. I expect it to. We're going to turn on the spindle, but before I'm going to go start the GoPro. Okay. No, it didn't go up to 4.8, and that's okay.
If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video.
let's move on to the rest of the video. All right, well, we're going to give this a try, and what we're going to do is I'm going to turn on dust collection, I'm going to turn on vacuum hold down, and I'm going to put the dust skirt on, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay, on with the dust skirt we go. Okay. Dust collection, and then vacuum hold down is what we're going to do now. Adjust the valves to make sure that we were holding down correctly. See a problem that I've got going, and I'm going to actually start this over. Skirt pulled all the way down correctly. And I don't want to expel all that into the air. We'll just start the job over. The skirt is just literally too high. Skirt hanging down about a 1/4 inch lower than the bit. Leaving way too much on the table here. Restarted the tool, the file. It's going to air cut, obviously, because we've not moved. Yeah. Last thing we want is that in our lungs. It's gonna air cut now the panel. So this is probably just gonna run anything for probably 10 minutes or so. This is where we're gonna have to modify the start depth, but I wanna go incrementally with what we're doing. The vacuum seems to be holding it down pretty well. Well, maybe not. Got some lift to it. The issue we've got is our profile cut's going to hit that. And the real reason is I'm not sitting on the spoil board. I've got a board between these two. So when we go into production, if I didn't have this board here, this thing would be held down like it weighed 1,000 pounds. A vacuum on, it's just out here, it's coming up. This very carefully. Sure, we'll have to get rid of this board so we can hold this down really well when we go into production without needing a temporary clamp. It seems to be held down really, really well out here. And I only have this zone on the vacuum system. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3 is out in the back, and then Zone 4 is in the far left corner. This is the step that we're going to absolutely look to eliminate. Definitely going to be underneath. I'm just not sure how close we're going to get, so let's see. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It'll do this entire pass, and then a last pass. We'll get a gauge if it's actually smoother. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just simply offset it. I'll offset the workpiece down in this orientation enough, 3 inches to get a spring clamp there if necessary. And it might, because I may not get vacuum in this hard outside corner, obviously. So I'm going to have to shift it down. Say that we're getting a smoother finish with a last pass. I'm going to skip that step next time. Took almost an hour, basically an hour. So I've got basically an hour to cut that. And the software was saying 1 hour, 27 minutes, so our scale factor will have to be adjusted. So we have everything turned off, but we can, almost everything. Got everything turned off that we can turn off. Now, let's take a look and see what we've created. An hour of cutting. Ah, it didn't reach all the way through. I will have to increase that thickness or the depth of that final cut. Because you actually never really see it. And it's definitely not a problem. That's nice looking. That is really nice. I am happy with how that turned out. I hope you are. Detail. Okay. Oh, it looks a lot nicer in person than it does. Let's take a moment. Let's clean up the edges that we have here. I don't have a good scale here, but it is not heavy. Need to increase that depth of that cut slightly. It was only on the back end, so it must be that the piece was curling up back there. Is panel. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So areas of improvement, obviously not wasting that time on the first pass to get this inner panel done. Obviously not wasting that time. Nice. I mean, the radius corner detail doesn't bother me so much, and I don't think it's going to be an issue at the top. And actually, it looks nice. I'd have to see it in a tighter corner. I have to see what that would look like to know whether or not I'd want to change that. Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, it would just be a really small bit. Yeah, we could do a profile, the depth to the left of the line, and then do the pocket in the same, the greater diameter. I'll get a larger end mill, a larger diameter, so it doesn't take so many passes. Is how this would actually be done. Ah, that looks nice. No problem with that. No problem with that at all. Okay, let's bring this closer to wrapping it up. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, so I'm certainly not unhappy with this panel at all. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what I've done. I've ordered some new bits, and what I've done is I have ordered a 3/4 inch end mill so that the time will be substantially reduced because I was cutting this with a 3/8 end mill. I want to make that quicker, so that's going to be double the diameter. I have also ordered a 1/8 inch end mill because what I'm going to do is modify the toolpath so that I run a profile around here. Okay, and I'm going to give myself a 1/16 of an inch radius. here rather than a 3/16 radius. I think that's going to look a lot nicer, even though, listen, it looks really nice right now. It just does. I mean, I have no complaint about what that looks like, but I'm going to try it with a tighter radius is the bottom line. Um, Bigger end mill, make this all go faster. Tighter radius here. Um, I had to order a new collet to take a 3/4 inch shank, a new nut for the shank. My 1/8 inch end mill has a 1/4 inch shank, and I have that collet. Um, and we are going to shift the work down slightly so that we can put a spring clamp in the 4 outside corners and not worry about our vacuum holding it down, because what it was doing was curling up and the bristles were coming and kind of pushing it down in the outside corner, but the workpiece is coming up. So I'm going to get that clamp down. I'm going to keep the head of the tool away from all of that by just shifting it down the x-axis a little bit. Increase the depth slightly so that we come all the way through. And maybe the material is not completely 0.759 all the way throughout, but probably what happened is the workpiece was coming up a little bit, which is why we didn't get all the way through, because I don't want to have to go back and sand. We'll have to sand a little bit before we paint these, which they will be painted. So let's switch to the screen view. I'll show you the bits that I've ordered. Then after that, the next thing I'm going to work on improving my tool pathing, and I'll probably record that. And then after that, we're gonna run modified tool pathing and then test it. Awesome. Let's move on. Okay, let's take a peek at what I ordered. Pulling up the catalog. All right. So Ansrud is the tooling that I have ordered. Um, I'm sure that I've mentioned elsewhere how exceptional their tech support has been. I've called them and they are extremely happy to help. And it's really, 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 really great. Okay, so let's take a look. So I ordered a 52,395, and in their catalog, up in the beginning of it, it's an index of all their tool types, their cutting tools. So 52,395 is what I ordered, which is a upcut spiraled wood router bit. So I do want an upcut. I want to pull the wood out is what I want to do. And the 395. So this is designed for routing where upward chip removal, tool rigidity, long life, and high quality finish is desired. Okay, so
Okay,
52.
bye-bye.
Bye. So 52,390.
Bye.
Bye bye. So 50 through 2.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Here we go. Sorry. So 52,395 is a 3/4 inch diameter, and that's what I wanted. It also has a 3/4 inch shank. So while I'm on this page, I also bought the 52-240 1/8 inch diameter with a 1/4 inch shank because I've got this collet, and that'll give me a much tighter corner. Then I ordered the ER32 collet nut, and I'm just doing a Control F on my keyboard for a 3/4 inch collet. I said collet nut, I meant collet. I also ordered the collet nuts because I don't see how the collet nut that I have is going to work. collet nut. Yeah, here. So high speed, ultra high speed ER coated nuts. So that was an ER32 on the collet that I ordered. Um, let's go back and look at that. The collet was yeah, it's a 34222, which is an ER32. Then the collet nut I ordered, um, again, an ER32. Bear with me. Yeah, 34705. That's the nut that I ordered. I also asked for the 34757 wrench. I actually don't know if I need that or not. Uh, I'm thinking that I will because I don't have a collet bigger than an ER25 for half inch. So I'm thinking I'm going to need it, but it's not sure. We're going to find out. So I'm going to actually switch this to the screen view and I'm going to start modifying my tool pathing. Let's do that now.